everyone, welcome to yoga this week. I have to admit, I'm pretty excited about yoga this week. I have some fun things to talk about and some new sequences to go with it. Our topic today is kind of different. It's how does the moon connect people? And I'll tell you, since you're not here to have some ideas. You probably have ideas, I just can't hear them. Okay. Well, what got me started thinking about this was that Ramadan is starting or has started. I think it's starting very soon. But it got me to thinking, Ramadan is this spring. It's not every spring. Passover is spring. So we have Ramadan is Islamic or Muslim celebration. Passover is Jewish celebration. And Easter just passed. And that is a Christian celebration. So I got to thinking, is there a connection between all of these celebrations of the different faiths? Now they each, deep down, have their own meanings. But one thing that's in common between Easter and Passover is that they are both about new beginnings and spring. I'm going to tell you a little fun fact for all of you kind of Cliff Clavin, fun-loving information people out there. You know how they figure out when Easter is? The first Sunday after the full moon that falls on or after March 21st, which happens to be the first day of spring. The first Sunday after the full moon, after March 21st, is Easter. So then that's something. The moon decides when Easter is. Passover, always on, not the Sunday after, but on the first full moon after March 21st. Still the first day of spring. So those two celebrations are really connected to spring and new life. Now Ramadan, even though this year it's in the spring, it is not always in the spring. You want to know how they figure that out? I'll tell you. Ramadan is actually named, it's the Arabic name for the 9th month in the Islamic calendar, which is a lunar calendar and has 10 less days. So we have 365 days, and 10 less days would be 355 days in a year. So every year, Ramadan goes back 10 days. So slowly, it changes seasons, right? This year it's in the spring. How do we know when Ramadan starts? The moon. The month of Ramadan begins when someone looks up into the sky and sees the first crescent of the moon is seen. For that reason, because we live in a modern age, still different countries that celebrate Ramadan could have a different view of the sky. So say one country doesn't see the crescent. Maybe it's cloudy. Maybe, who knows? They don't see it. Their month does not start till the next day, perhaps. The country over next door, if they see it that night, that's when their Ramadan starts. So it's just kind of fascinating to me. These three major faiths, with all their different traditions, are all relying on something in creation, right? The moon. The moon. I want to tell you one more thing about these three faiths. When I was way younger than I am now, like 22, my husband now, it wasn't even my boyfriend then, but I thought he was pretty cute. Anyway, we went to Israel and we worked in a hospice care for people who were no longer receiving medical care, but they were also not going to get out of the hospital. They were receiving what we call comfort care. And Israel can be kind of a touchy place to be different from people, right? A lot of times Jewish people and Muslim people and some Christian people, they do not get along. But this home, this hospice, was very special. It honored all the faith traditions. So for the Jewish people that lived there, we kept kosher. We would have different mugs at breakfast and dinner to have dairy. And then at lunch, we would have the cups for meat, because people who keep kosher do not mix their dairy cups and their meat cups. So every day, all the people, whether they were Jewish or Christian or Muslim, would go around and swap the cups out. It's just what we did. So we would honor that Jewish tradition. During the time of Ramadan, when we were there, I think it was in November or December that year, we had a lot of Muslim people that worked there. And so they would not eat. Part of Ramadan is not eating when the sun is shining. So we usually had eaten our meals at a certain time of day. They would provide meals. But during Ramadan, the staff would provide the Arab or Muslim meals after the sun went down or before the sun came up in the morning. And in that way, and also for the patients, but the patients needed to eat pretty much when they needed to eat. But for the staff, their culture was honored by moving meal times around, as we were doing the same thing for the Jewish people. And for the Christian people, they had 4 sisters that lived there. They were very elderly. But every Sunday, we would, as part of their care, get them ready and dressed up and wheel them down to a small chapel that was in the building, because it was run by Christian people. And they would celebrate their Christian Mass. So I just say that as a time when we hear a lot about conflict between people. There's ways to honor all the kinds of people and to see what brings us together, like the moon. So today, we, for yoga, are going to do something called a moon salutation. It'd be kind of something different. I haven't done one before, and I thought, why not? We'll kind of not honor, but maybe just nod toward that one thing that brings those 3 faith traditions together. And then we'll read this book called Wonder Walkers. And we'll see how that ties into the moon. Okay, friends, today let's go ahead and begin by doing our finger breathing. We haven't done that in a while, and I think it might be good. So we'll go ahead and do that. If you'd like to sit up nice and tall or lay on your back, anywhere where you have a nice long line from the top of your head to your tailbone. Okay. You can go ahead and put your thumb toward the base of your finger. Okay. And close your eyes or keep them open. Inhale, tracing up. Exhale, tracing down. Next, inhale, tracing up. Exhale, tracing down. We're on our ring finger. Inhale, tracing up. Exhaling, tracing down. Pinky finger, inhale, tracing up. Exhale, tracing down. Back to ring finger, tracing up. Exhale, tracing down. Tall finger, inhale, tracing up. Exhale, tracing down. Pointer finger, inhale, tracing up. And exhale, tracing down. Good. Okay, friends. Well, today we're going to start with a standing sequence, okay? A standing sequence. So go ahead, see if you have any creaks or, probably don't, because you're kiddos. I got a little creak in my back today, but it's going to be just fine. So let's go ahead, friends, and bring our hands up overhead. My hands are just touching like this. You can have your hands touching or separated. Either way, we're going to lean to one side. Friends, I think this stretch is supposed to look like a crescent moon. We talked about that. The crescent shape. Kind of like a C. We'll come back to the middle. Then we'll do the crescent shape to the other side. Maybe one more time each side, huh? Back to the center, crescent shape to one side. Go back to the center and crescent shape the other side. Very good. Okay, now friends, I'll put my hands down for just a second, and this is kind of a different sequence, but I think we can do it, okay? So let's just give it a shot. Put our hands back up, and we're gonna step our feet a little bit apart and put our hands out wide in a T. Then we're gonna take one hand and we're going to reach it down toward our foot on this side. And the foot that you reach toward, friends, you can point that toe out to the side. And if you'd like, you can kind of walk your other foot back to make your feet wider apart. This is a triangle, kind of a deep triangle bend. Okay, from here, friends, bring our top hand back toward our front foot. We're going to bring both of our hands, you stay where you are. I'm going to turn here this way. Now both of my legs are straight. My hands are one on either side of my front foot, okay? And you can go ahead and drop your head if you like. If you want to bend your front knee, you sure can, whatever is comfortable. Bend your feet, drop your head here. Get a nice little stretch. Then from here, friends, if your knee is not already bent, bend your front knee a little more. You can slide your back foot back a little bit. Your back heel is off the carpet. From here, take this hand from outside of your foot, move it inside of your foot. You know what? I'm going to put that down just a little so you could see a little better. My hands are inside of my leg. Okay. And then from here, you can drop your back knee or you can keep it up. Okay, you can drop your back knee or keep it up. There. Get a nice stretch in our leg here. From here, you can bring your back leg, boop, walk it up. I'll show you from the side. So see how right here, I have my leg over here, my hands inside my front leg. And then this leg in the back here, I'm going to quick step it up next to my other foot and then bring my hips down like this. See, just like that. Now you stay there and I'll come this way. So now we're here in the center. Okay, friends, from here, we're going to do kind of the opposite way of what we just did. So we just did runner's lunge on the other side. We're going to do it here. So I'll tell you what to do. Put your hands back down. And remember when you had your foot in the back and you stepped it forward? You did this. Well, now do it with your other leg. So you're like this. Put your hands down. Put your weight in your hands. Then put your weight in this leg. And put your other one back behind you. Isn't that kind of a neat trick? So this, just like this on the other side. Okay? There. Okay. Now from here, guys, let's see. I'm going to tilt this down even a little bit more. There. Okay. From here, you can bring your back foot in a little bit. And you can straighten your front leg and drop your head if you'd like. You could drop your head. You could also bend your knee. That feels better. Either way is up to you. Kind of a nice little stretch in your front leg, huh? And then from here, okay, we're going to take the same hand as this foot, as your front foot. So the same hand as your foot, put it by your foot. Your other hand is going to come up to the sky. I'm going to come up to the sky here. I'll scooch back a little bit. There you go. Remember we did triangle before. You can look toward your top hand if you'd like, or not. Then friends, from here you can bend your knee a little bit We're gonna come back to standing with our arms out, then bend our legs. This is called moonflower pose. Moonflower pose. Do that. And then you stay standing. I'm gonna come down here on my knees so you can see me. Okay, they're asking a lot of my camera today. So we're gonna do the same thing we did at the beginning. Hands high. We'll stretch to one side and the other side. And back up into our heart. Woo, friends, that was a lot of work. Okay, let me adjust my camera one more time. All right. Well, moon salutation. Who knew? I wish that I could see you doing it. It was a little bit complicated, but you know, you can always do it again. The next time through, it's probably gonna be a little easier. Okay, friends, the next part of our day today is called this book, Wonder Walkers. And see if you can think why I chose this book for today. Okay, Wonder Walkers. Does this ever look like kids at your house? Just kind of relaxing at home? She says, Wonder Walk? Sure. Is the sun the world's light bulb? What's this over here? Look, her brother's right outside. Is the fog the river's blanket? Can you see that? It's such pretty pictures, isn't it, guys? Do mountains have bones? Are forests the mountain fir? I wonder. Me too. Are trees the sky's legs? See those little guys down there? Are branches trees' arms? Oh, here's brother. Have you ever climbed a big tree like that before? Pretty special. Is the dirt the world's skin? Are the roots the plant's toes? Do caves have mouths? Are shells the shore's necklace? Is the ocean the world's bath? You see those shells? They do kind of look like a necklace, don't they? Those kiddos there on the beach. Are rivers the earth's veins? What do you think? Look at those little kiddos looking at the river there. They live in a beautiful spot. Is the wind the world breathing? Is rain the day's tears? Look at those kids playing in the rain. Look at the cat. Is the moon the world's nightlight? I wonder. Me too. You see why I chose this book? These kids are looking at the moon, and people all over the world are looking at the moon. Right? You know why I also like this book? It's because it shows kind of in a funny way, but also just kind of wondering if different parts of the world they kind of make them like body parts, like human. And it also kind of shows that the world is all one thing, right? All just different parts of one whole. Just like all the people are different parts of one humankind. So it's a good message. All right, friends, we are going to close today with our volcano breath. So if you can think of somebody that could use your love today, I have somebody in my mind. Okay. You know what to do. Imagine their face. Breathe it in. And send your love. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you next week.